only 4 paths of yoga. That's it. Yoga leads different ways. And you can take a different path. You can take the path of karma yoga, which is the first one, which is the active path, which is when you take action, when you live by example. You work through that through what we call selfless service, karma yoga, right? We know karma, but we use it the wrong way. Somebody will say, ooh, karma's going to get you back, right? But karma yoga is about selfless service, not thinking of yourself, but thinking of how you can benefit somebody else. You see, we walk through life, and this actually becomes work on a spiritual level. Because how many of you guys wake up in the morning and say, whose life can I make better today? Right? You, because you've taken my class. But the majority of you guys will say, I hope I'm going to have a good day today. And it's all about I'm, and it's all about the ego. When you begin to really truly learn yoga and live yoga, you live through a different meaning. You are put on this earth to be the best version of yourself you can possibly be. And in order for you to be the best version of yourself you can possibly be, you must remember that you are here to make somebody else's life better today. Selfless service. Selfless service can be as simple as somebody drops papers, you run over there and you pick them up and nobody told you. Go pick them up. Go help her. Selfless service can be that you're really pissed off and you walk out the door, but yet there's a woman behind you or a man behind you and you hold the door open regardless, despite the fact that you're upset. You see, when we're upset, we think only of ourselves. And that's when you need to practice karma yoga the most. So you can take that path. You can take the path of always knowing that you wake up every day, and the more you help somebody, the more your life is going to be enhanced. If you make somebody else's life better, yours will be better tenfold. When you realize that, your whole paradigm changes. The way that you behave changes. Things begin to happen in your life that you could never have imagined. Right? So you can either do this karma yoga path. Some people, can you think of somebody that you would think off the top of your head that lived their whole life doing karma yoga? Don't get confused with the word yoga. You don't be in the Western world thinking, okay, I never saw anybody move their body. Remember, that's not yoga. Somebody? Me? Yeah, me. But I'm thinking of somebody greater. How about Mother Teresa? How about Mother Teresa? She worked her whole life in selfless service. Gandhi, how about Gandhi? Right? Who else? Anybody can think of anybody else? The Dalai Lama. Nice one. The Dalai Lama. Right? Who else? You see, you have to start thinking differently. Now I'm pulling you out of your intellect and into your heart. Who else? Could be your grandmother. Right? Could be your grandmother. Most of the time, Grammies, they don't care about themselves, they care about you. And then you got other Grammys that still haven't figured out karma yoga, right? But that's what it's about. This is working on a spiritual level and working on yourself. Instead of sitting there thinking, oh, this woman, I wish you just would shut up and, you're in your classes and things like that. That's about you. That's about your uncomfort zone. That's about your time because you want to hurry up, get out of here, and move on with your day. That's being selfish. because you think you know it all and I got nothing to teach you. That would be the only reason that we have that, right? The second one here is Jnana Yoga, and it's the philosophical path. That's how we work through philosophy and intellect. An example was what I gave you last time, right? I gave you the history of yoga, the history of all of that. Through the philosophical path and through your mind, right? I open your mind through the intellect. A perfect example of a person that does Jnana Yoga is Deepak Chopra, right? Deepak, because he gets you through at the intellect. He's a doctor, he's an Ayurvedic doctor, and he goes through his philosophy and he goes through the intellect. Yes? Understand that? Next one is Bhakti Yoga, the devotional path. That's where we actually do some chanting, some mantra, and some prayer. Because that's all of it is yoga. All of it. If you have not really done any of these, you haven't done yoga. You've done movement of the body. Very different. Movement of the body is asana, and in and of itself is not yoga. But here in the Western world, we have bastardized that, and we have taught you to think that that's yoga, but that's not yoga. You must go through all of these paths of yoga, right? So chanting, mantra, prayer, we do that. When do we do that in our yoga practice, in our asana? When do we do that? We do it in the namaste, yes. And we do it when else? When I showed it to you on Thursday, what was that called? What were you going to do? The vinyasa, right? Right? So, in the vinyasa. No? You guys forgot already in the vinyasa? Michael? All right, so today we're going to learn the vinyasa, the whole vinyasa. When I ask you to stand there, to look up, to open your heart, to look up at that being, whatever it is, that universal, that external source that you source energy from, to give thanks. That now gets embedded in our asana. We are also going to learn some chanting. Towards the end of the class, you'll be chanting. I will send you a chant, you will learn it, and we will chant back and forth. That's open calling, that's opening the heart. Okay? So, we will be doing some of that. The fourth path is Raja Yoga. It's a scientific path that leads you to the 8 steps of yoga, which is what we are going to learn. We're going to learn the first 2 steps. Only the first 2 steps. The first 2 steps have a lot of different steps, right? So we're going to learn all of this. We practice all of this. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga. All of it. That all gets embedded. Because reminder that yoga is truly a journey and a union of the mind, the body, and the spirit. And the only way to get through to everything is to practice all of these. Okay? Does that make sense? So the first thing you guys need to do is to begin to notice how many times a day do you think of other people and how you can benefit somebody else? How many times do you do something because it's going to benefit somebody else? Anybody? If you're a mom, do I have any moms in here? Do I have any young moms in here? Moms, you do it all the time, right? What do you do? What do you do, moms?
Cook, clean.
Cook, clean. And why do you do it? Because you want to do it or because what? clean house for your children. You want them to have healthy food. You want them to be healthier, yes? Not because you have to do it. But thank you for that. That was a perfect lead-in. So the word, I want you to write down this word, have to, in quotation marks, have to. You see the energy of words.
It's been 11 minutes. Do I?
Okay, stop it and start it again.